Good evening, hi, it's Mr. Intermarket Analysis bringing the overview of the FTSE 100. I'm going to look at the FTSE and see where it's heading tomorrow, especially with the Apple's earnings released just out, obviously affecting the Nasdaq futures and creating a risk-off type environment because their margins have been hit. As we all know, Nasdaq is one of the chiefs that leads the global market along with the Shanghai, and especially the fact that the Apple stock itself obviously is quite heavily weighted in the Nasdaq and the S&P, so obviously it has quite a significant movement on the index itself and obviously affects sentiment. So the fact that their earnings have just been released, earnings are better than expected, but that was already priced into the stock. Margins are very poor, so that stock should certainly get hit, especially given the fact that Mr. Khan has been trying to manipulate the stock as well. Anyway, first of all, just like to say that I wish all my UK compatriots and comrades well. Hope they've weathered the storm. St. Jude. Hope everybody's okay. Those that have been affected, with regards to power cuts, with regards to trees. If anybody lost any loved ones, I think there were 3 people that passed away due to the storms, etc. Condolences go out to them. And obviously my comrades, UK citizens. Hope everybody's well and keep safe. And those of you that have obviously are out of power at the moment, hope your powers are restored and everything's back to normal, hopefully once again. Okay, so yes, my regards goes out to the people of the British Isles. Okay, so let's carry on with the FTSE now. So FTSE 100 chart, weekly chart again, as we all know, resistance level has been acting like a rock around this 6730. Okay, so we failed to penetrate that all day today. Obviously my previous video setup, I had a FTSE short. I waited all morning, which was quite frustrating, and then I switched my bias and eventually closed out for +5 on the short side, +10 on the long side. Again, it was a tricky one today. Okay, given the fact that the storms had probably caused a lot of the traders to stay at home, and they weren't, the volume just wasn't there to shift the markets until the Yanks came on board. Okay, so 6730, as we know, is key resistance and pivot zone. We need a confirmed close above that, obviously, in order to sustain and move higher. And also we need a positive catalyst as well. The fact that Shanghai was negative to flat overnight, and the fact that the Nikkei was higher overnight, but that failed to sort of propel the market higher, although it did do so towards the close. Okay, given the yen carry trade. Okay, so FTSE 100 daily chart. Okay, you have a doji now, 2 dojis in a row. It's not a positive sign, it's not a good sign. Okay, although we are holding above the previous resistance equal support, which is 6700. Okay, if 6700 goes, which more than likely will, given the Apple's earnings tomorrow, then the next level is going to be a 6660 level, so watch out for that. Our previous resistance equal support. Okay, let's go to smaller time frames now. So let's go to the FTSE 100 on a 10-minute chart. Okay, 10-minute chart at the moment. We do seem to be creating a potential H&S formation, which I'll show in the 60 minutes. Right now we obviously opened up at 6742. We closed the gap. When we did close the gap, I did expect a bounce and sustained move higher, given the fact that the Nikkei was quite heavily higher overnight. That failed to materialize. We moved lower. We based here around the 6700 level, so watch out for that. Again, like I said, 6700 on a daily chart, previous resistance equals support. Okay, we held a double bottom, obviously historical support, and we propelled higher towards the close around the 6730 level, which I obviously exited around that region, given the fact that it was around the 75% Fibonacci retracement level. Okay, so let's go to our 60-minute chart, which is a key chart right now. Again, this is a support line here that's been holding. We have gaps below. If I just quickly go back to the 10-minute chart, watch out for this gap to be filled around this region here, 6670 level. Okay, let me just delete this. This is a previous this is a previous H&S, so I just want to ignore that. Okay, okay, so yeah, so watch out for this unfilled gap below here around the 6670 level, which again coincides with the daily chart, which I've already explained. Okay, so certainly H&S target around the 6660 if this materializes, and central bank, should I say, if they allow it to play out. Okay, so yeah, rising, a bit of a bullish channel there, which obviously is broken to the downside. Again, it's technical analysis is very subjective, so always bear that in mind. Obviously the main thing here is the fact that we haven't made a higher high, We made a lower high, so therefore it's a bias change principle 1, and we should sustain a move lower. So keep an eye out for that pattern there, folks. Always remember, risk on, risk off, wax on, wax off. Goodbye out.